Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the most chaotic, downright addictive, and utterly wild web dramas out there right now. Queen transmigrates as schoolteacher. If you've been seeing clips of this everywhere and wondering how a high school classroom turned into an absolute battlefield of billionaire tycoons, poisoned ropes, and ancient archery, well, you're in the right place. We're going to do a detailed drama explanation breaking down the completely insane character arcs and plot twists that make this series literally impossible to look away from.
All right, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for breaking down this wild boss rush character arc. We're covering the transmigration premise, taming the bully, the fake pregnancy plot, secret identities and medical lies, the final boss battle, and finally, the ultimate takeaway.
Section 1. The transmigration premise.
You know, every good drama in this genre needs an absolutely overpowered protagonist, right? Well, enter Princess Claire. In her past life, she was literally an ancient regent. We're talking about a woman who pacified borders and raised capable emperors. But then, boom, she suddenly wakes up in the modern world, trapped in the body of Miss Silva, who is, well, she's the severely bullied homeroom teacher for Class 1. It brilliantly illustrates the hilarious contrast between her high-stakes past life and her incredibly petty new reality.
And let me tell you, this is no ordinary class. Get this. She is already the 33rd homeroom teacher this month. 33rd! The rumors about Class 1 are just legendary. The students are ignorant, they're lazy, they're brutal, and the roster is entirely made up of notoriously spoiled tycoon brats. The last teacher literally warned Claire to run for the hills. But Claire? Oh, she looks at this unruly mob and sees them exactly like the young, rebellious emperor she had to discipline back in the day.
Section 2. Taming the Boy. Right off the bat, Claire faces her first mini-boss. This is Hollis Moore, the brawny combat champion of the class, who loves bragging that no teacher lasts even 6 hours with him. So, Claire bets him she'll last 3 days. Step 1, he literally throws a live snake at her, but instead of screaming, Claire just grabs it by its weakness, the 7-inch mark, and turns the whole thing into an impromptu biology lesson, calmly pointing out the snake's gallbladder. Step 2, she absolutely dominates him on his own turf. During archery class, Hollis is showing off, but Claire casually picks up a 9-dan bow. Now this thing requires 540 pounds of force to draw, and no one else can budge it. She pulls it back and shoots 3 arrows at once, right into the bullseye. No big deal, right? And finally, step 3, when she protects Hollis from getting expelled over his own pranks, she completely wins his absolute loyalty. Boom, bully officially tamed.
So, she tamed the combat champion with physical prowess and sheer, unadulterated confidence. But what about the neglected heir who operates on a totally different wavelength? Let's talk about Xavier Locke.
Section 3. The fake pregnancy plot.
Xavier isn't throwing snakes, his trauma is entirely domestic. He's the heir to a massive tea empire, but he's acting out because he's dealing with his super manipulative evil stepmother named Corrida. His father blames him for literally everything and screams this absolute soap opera line at him, "Because you pushed Corrida to the ground last night, she got hurt and lost the baby today." Xavier is totally trapped here. His dad thinks he's a malicious loser who caused a miscarriage just to secure his inheritance. It's a high-stakes, incredibly toxic trap that has completely alienated him from his family.
But here's the crucial turning point. Watch how Claire dismantles this massive lie using her ancient medical knowledge. She just casually invites herself over to check Corrida's pulse. Now, not only does she find the pulse to be completely steady, which proves Corrida didn't just suffer a miscarriage, but she drops an absolute truth bomb. Corrida had been casually snacking on dried longan fruit. Claire points out that longan actually stimulates uterine contractions. Basically, anyone who is actually pregnant knows to avoid it like the plague early on. So, by carelessly eating it, Corrida proves she was never pregnant to begin with. Just like that, the stepmom's lie shatters, and Xavier's relationship with his father is instantly healed.
Okay, so Xavier is saved, and Claire has bagged another fiercely loyal student. But what happens when a student's entire identity, literally everything they present to the world, is a complete and total fabrication?
Section 4. Secret identities and medical lies.
Now we get to see Claire tackle 2 students who are absolutely drowning in insane family drama. First up is Violet. To fit in with the wealthy elite of Class 1, she's pretending to be the heiress to Neil Design. But her real life? She's actually the daughter of a fired maid, and she is constantly being extorted and abused by her real dad, who's a violent gambling addict.
When this massive lie gets exposed in front of the whole class, Violet hits absolute rock bottom. But Claire doesn't expel her. Instead, she pulls out the historical example of Angus Keene, a guy who rose from extreme poverty and humiliation to achieve historical greatness. She uses this to inspire Violet, telling her that her top grades are her real worth. And it works. Violet drops the scam and decides to just focus on studying.
And then we have Winola. This leads to the absolute most unhinged plot twist of the entire show. Winola is the biological daughter of the wealthy Baird family, but her parents completely favor their adopted daughter, Bonita. Why? Well, because years ago, Bonita supposedly donated a kidney to save the mother's life. But Claire, being the pulse-reading master she is, checks Bonita's pulse and realizes, wait a minute, she isn't missing a kidney at all. It turns out Bonita paid a doctor to fake the mother's kidney failure and actually removed the healthy mother's kidney just to secure her own social status over Winola. I mean, that is just diabolical. Claire exposes this insane medical lie, completely freeing Winola from her toxic family dynamics.
So now, Claire has gone in and solved her students' completely impossible personal problems. With Class 1 now totally, unshakably loyal to her, who is Claire's ultimate final boss?
Section 5. The Final Boss Battle.
Surprise! The final boss isn't a student or even the principal. It's Claire's own terrible father, Jarvis Silva. He hatches this completely disgusting plot to forcefully marry Claire off to a 60-year-old tycoon named Irvin Rance, all in exchange for a piece of land in the east suburbs. The timeline of this climax is incredibly fast-paced and just pure chaos. First, Jarvis frames Claire's poor scholarship student, Kevin, for dropping a $100 million ancestral painting into the water. He demands Claire marry Irvin to pay off the massive debt. Second, Claire just effortlessly restores the ruined painting using her ancient skills, because of course she does. Third, Jarvis escalates things violently. He hires bodyguards who actually kidnap Claire using a rope soaked in poison. I'm not kidding, they literally drag her to the wedding venue. But step 4 is the ultimate face-slap moment. The wedding gets crashed by the billionaire parents of Claire's students, the Moores, the Locks, and the Bairds. They band together, threaten to bankrupt Jarvis and the groom, and completely save Claire.
And what's the incredibly satisfying payoff to all of this unbelievable drama? The exam scores. Violet scores a 690, Xavier a 650, and Hollis a 620. This once-failing, rebellious Class 1 absolutely dominates, racking up the top scores in the entire school across every single subject. Claire didn't just survive this school, she fundamentally transformed her students.
Section 6. The Ultimate Takeaway.
So, why is this over-the-top, totally melodramatic transmigration genre so undeniably addictive to watch? It's because these dramas offer a deeply satisfying fantasy of competence. In real life, problems are messy. Toxic family dynamics can drag on for years and years. But here, we get to watch an overpowered ancient queen cut through modern nonsense like a hot knife through butter. She reads pulses, she draws 500-pound bows, restores priceless artifacts, and effortlessly exposes liars. We just love seeing a protagonist use undeniable skill to definitively solve complex problems, ensure justice is always served, and protect her newly found family of students.
But of course, a drama like this never truly rests, right? Just as Class 1 finally finds some peace, we get hit with a shocking number, 54.
54 is the exact number of teachers that the brand new transfer student once drove completely crazy in a single day. He is a notorious playboy, and he just happens to be the son of the absolute richest man in the entire country. And guess what? He has just arrived at the school gates. So the million-dollar question is, can Princess Claire tame him too? It's the absolute perfect cliffhanger that leaves us desperately waiting for Season 2. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Class 1's wild ride. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.